Hey guys, it's Alex and welcome to the Geeks Table. And as you can see, we should talk about stabilizing. So I used DJI gimbals for around 2 or 3 years already. I had Osmo Mobile 2, my parents use it now, Osmo Mobile 3, I even have Ronin SC, the big guy, all mine, not sponsored. And now DJI released this, OM4, the successor of Osmo Mobile 3. The grips of two gimbals look exactly the same. USB-C on the right, joystick and two buttons on the front, and zoom trigger on the left. However, the top part got reimagined completely. Now we have a clamp with a magnet here, so it's easier to attach your phone. DJI actually does a smart thing, it listens to what people complain on. So the first generation of Osmos was good, but it was expensive, so they came up with Osmo Mobile 2, which was more affordable. But people were complaining on the size because it was still kind of bulky, so they came up with Osmo Mobile 3 that has this handy mechanism that can make it more compact. It was fine, but people said, okay, but we need to stabilize the phone, then if we need to check the maps, we take it out, then we stabilize it again, then we receive a phone call, we take it out, then we stabilize it again. Well, you got the idea. So Osmo Mobile 4 or OM4 has this magnetic construction that solves the problem. So you basically attach the clamp to your phone, balance it once, and you are free to remove it from the gimbal. And when you're ready, you quickly attach your phone and it's already balanced. The magnet is really strong, it's really hard to detach your phone unless you really want to, but I should warn you that if you use your phone with a case, it may not be that safe. So for example, here I have my favorite protective case that I use on a daily basis, and if I put the clamp on it and attach to the gimbal, and then if I will pull by the case, then I will get the phone with the case, but the clamp will stay here. So please do not lose your phones while filming. Also, they include this nice little accessory that you can attach to your phone instead of the clamp, and it will have a ring here to hold it. But then you will have to rely not on the magnet, but on the glue on this side, because it will be the weakest link. It's replaceable, but still, if water comes here or something else happens or some air, then you may lose your phone even easier. So if I were you, I would be very nervous using this little thing when holding the gimbal out of the car window, for example, or stretching it above the water. So I would definitely not recommend using this. And also when you have it attached to your phone directly, you won't be able to charge it wirelessly. Okay, enough talking, let's test it out. And my favorite place to test the gimbal is the main railway station. Let's go. The great thing about Osmo Mobile 3 and OM4 is that as gimbals, they provide the same functionality. All the modes, all the directions, all the buttons, everything is the same. I was trying the new version of the DJI Mimo app, and I found the biggest downside that you need to be aware of. Let's say you are in the video mode. By default, it's 720p, 20 frames per second. It's probably too small. So what we'll do, we'll switch to 4K 60 FPS. But then we switch to another video mode like dynamic zoom, and by default it has 720p 24 FPS. And if we go back to the video mode, we'll find out that it's not 4K anymore. 720p overrided it. I was in a hurry a few times and forgot to switch it back, so I got a 720p videos instead of 4K. To make it keep 4K 60 FPS, you need to go through all the video modes and set them to be the same 4K 60 FPS up. And then when switching the modes, it won't override it anymore, and you'll always have the best quality available. So the first thing that I was curious to test was the improved tracking feature. And it still fails when the object is moving fast like this train. And I was on a distance, and pretty reasonable distance, and tried to select something that could be easy to track, maybe like some more contrast thing or some obvious thing that is moving, but it was impossible. I've also tried to track some pigeons because, you know, what a station without pigeons, but the result was opposite from good. Once the birds were flying, the track was losing it. It works fine when you track a stable object and it's you who are moving. Like if you want this sign to be always in the frame and you're walking along, or some landscape. We ended up taking a train to a more sunny place then. I guess the best scenario would be if you follow an object or a person, like this one walking along, or you actually move yourself with the object together, like me with this park train. But sometimes the tracker was behaving like this guy, switching to another object easily, like here. Okay, bike, 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 car. Okay, bike, 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 another bike. Okay, person, person. Oh my god, car! Who knows? To test the stabilization, I did the stairs test down and up, and the result was as expected. So this is one of the cases when a gimbal is really nice to have. You have a smooth picture with no shakes, no problems at all. Also, gimbals are like retina screen. Once you try it, there is no way back. All the hand-filmed videos will look trembling as crazy to you. Speaking of hand-filmed videos, it occurred to me that the phone manufacturers claim their cameras to be more and more stabilized every year. So maybe this whole review is useless and we don't need any gimbals at all. So I've decided to work with OM4 and without it to compare the quality. iPhone camera does it nice, and if I were moving slower it would have been more smooth, I guess. And afterwards I've decided to run as well, and in this case the results are more obvious. So as you can see, the gimbals are still a thing in 2020. My favorite feature of all the gimbals is the time-lapse, you know, like that stable picture with people moving super fast. And they also have a mode called motion lapse. It's like a time-lapse, but you're able to program a gimbal to follow a route of up to 4 points. Motion lapses will definitely outstand your videos because most people don't make them. So if you are buying a gimbal, definitely check it out. You can also walk while filming, and the gimbal will try to keep the center of the image in the same position in order to make the time-lapse look smooth. For those who doesn't like DJI app, and I'm among them, there is a way to use Moment Camera app instead. It has a built support for the Osmo gimbals and also has the mode for time lapses. It provides manual controls, you can select the path in the same way and get the recording. When the DJI app completes the recording, it makes the video right afterwards. And if your phone is not powerful enough, you'll have to wait for a while. And if you're in the middle of something interesting happening, you might miss a shot. Moment app, however, keeps the time lapses as photos inside the app, so you can export them as a video whenever you like and in any frame you'd like. Speaking of third-party apps, I use Filmic Pro for making videos, and Osmo Mobile 2 was able to control the settings with the joystick, but Osmo Mobile 3 lost this native support due to some internal changes, and I'm sad to confirm that OM4 doesn't have that support as well. But still, I try to avoid using DJI app and actually treat it as a setup console. I go to the settings, set up the speed of the gimbal, for example, to be slow, and then I switch to another camera app and do the recording. And it works not only with the speed. For example, we have this spin shot mode where you can rotate the phone around, so you can turn this mode on and then do the recording in another app. The mode itself is funny, but sometimes I was rotating in the wrong direction first, so it stopped too fast. For panorama lovers, there is 3x3 mode here. It can make a single shot by combining 9 photos together, and it keeps the separated photos as well, which is also nice. The results look great, but there is no way to set the horizon line. So if your gimbal stands on the floor and you have a high building in front of you, it will make 3 photos above, 3 photos of the horizon line, and 3 photos of the pavement that you probably don't need. In case of a shopping mall that is located in this big main railway station, it was fine because it has many stores, many floors, but I wish they made it customizable. That's why I prefer the standard panorama mode. It just rotates the phone for you for 270 degrees and makes a long shot of the landscape around. So at least in this case, you know what to expect. To improve your panoramas and time lapses, you might want to put your phone a bit higher, so I would recommend you to buy such an extension between the tripod and the gimbal itself. Those are usually cheap and very lightweight, and the result will be much better, so you may compare without it and with it. As you can see, the lake became more visible. There are also two funny modes that you'll probably try once and forget them for good. One is called Clone Me. It makes 3 photos, expecting you to be in the center of each of them, and then it combines them into one shot. Looks like a gimmick to me, but might occupy children for some time. And the other one is Dynazoom, or dynamic zoom if you will. It tells you to select a person or an object and then slowly move backward or forward to make the dynamic zoom effect. It's like where the foreground keeps the same size, but the landscape zooms in or out. It's nice, but I wasn't really happy with the quality because it uses only one lens. So the zoom is actually digital. But again, it's nice to have this feature just for fun. So let's wrap it up and answer some questions. Do you need a gimbal? Yes, if you do vlogging and you want to get to another level of shooting. And yes, if you do traveling and you need some lightweight stabilizer for your phone. Do you need the latest OM4? Yes, if you have a phone without the case or the case is not slippery. And yes, if you shoot on your primary phone and you don't have time for stabilizing. Do you need the OM3 or Osmo Mobile 3, the previous generation? Yes, if you need a reliable and solid clamp. And yes, if you're not sure if you really need a gimbal, because it's much cheaper, so you won't lose much money if you will go with it. Okay, I tried my best to make this review useful for you, and if you enjoyed it, hit the like button please. What's your gimbal experience? What gimbal would you use? Let me know down in the comments, and feel free to subscribe for more reviews. It's been Alex, and see you at the Geeks table. Bye bye.